Hi everyone, welcome on board. Welcome to CATKing. This is Anisha here. Today I'm in conversation with Avani here from Woxen University. So welcome to the channel, Avani.
Hello, hi Anisha. I'm glad to be here.
Amazing, that's nice. So, Avni, quickly, we were just having this conversation about your experience in Poland. I would love, to have the other students also hear about it. So, tell us a little bit first more about, what's your background? What are you doing currently, and where are you from? What did you do before getting on to Woxen?
Hello, so I am Avani from Hyderabad. I'm 20 years old. I'm pursuing my BBA at Woxen University currently. So before joining Woxen, I did my inter in MPC, contrary to my BBA now, in Little Flower Junior College, Uppal. And I decided it's not my cup of tea. So I shifted to business. And currently, I'm working on a startup named Aharya, which is funded by MSME, the central government of India. And also, I'm the president of our college cultural club. So I can say that it's a very happening student life, and all these activities keep us engaged, busy, and there's
Lovely.
so much happening. And
Oh, that's
it's
so interesting. That's so interesting. Like, so many things which you mentioned. So, what made you choose that, okay, I want to shift to business? That's something like, you're not very sure of which career, what's your interest area. I'm sure you also would have had this dilemma. Should I take business studies? Should I take go to engineering or science, or should I look into taking up BCom? So, how did you make this decision? I will take up business.
So I think one benefit of this whole COVID period was that it gave me good time to analyze and reflect on my interests and analyze which career option would be more suitable for me. So I think that period before my 10th, I was not very sure about what I wanted to do. But during that whole COVID phase, I sat down and then I understood what I was actually interested in. And then I decided business is more suitable and interesting.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. Lovely. And how about, your startup? Like you mentioned that you have your own startup. So what does your startup do?
So our whole objective is to modernize our Indian crafts, so the handloom, handicrafts. So we have three main objectives. One is to provide the employment opportunities to our weavers and represent our handlooms and handicrafts globally, not only just in India, but we want to redefine modern crafts and formal attires to the world through our Indian fabrics. So that's our aim, and we are working towards that.
Lovely. That's pretty interesting. It's so diverse. Like you said, it's a very different student life. When you're studying business, you're actually running a startup, and then you are the president of the Students' Council. So, I'm sure there must be like tons of things to do, working on fests, working on events. So, if you were to say, like, which is the most memorable event that you have taken lead on, what would you say?
I think Sankranti last year was an impromptu and a very memorable event because that was the first time I took up a lead. I managed the whole team, so I actually understood how a student body works and I could closely work and understand things better. So,
could you tell me what was this event all about?
It was a Sankranti event. So we had Rangoli and we had flying competition. We had DJ nights, but it was the first event that I did individually. So personally, for me, it was very close. And because of that event, now I know which areas should be worked more upon. And so I think that prepared me this year to work better and manage the team and understand the crowd better.
Lovely. That's interesting. And how about, like your peers? How is the pool of students that you are studying with? Is it competitive, or how's the journey like?
There are competitive people, they are interesting people, but we don't find all of them together at one place. In each place, like in a club, we have few people of different mindset. And now in my startup, I have few people. So we have diversified students and we get to learn a lot from them. And there are many people who completed their degree in one stream, like engineering, and they dropped off because they were not interested and they again came back to their BBA or MBA. So there's a lot to learn from different people. And one thing I understood is that age is not a deciding factor and you always have time to follow your passion and dreams.
Lovely. Coming from a 20-year-old who is running her own startup and leading teams, amazing. That sounds really interesting. Tell us more about, Avni, you mentioned that you recently came from your exchange program at Poland. So,
Yes.
how was it, the country, the whole overall exposure that you get, and how did you manage to let your parents and all also let you go out for this? I mean, that's going to be one of their concern areas, that at such a young age, why do you want to go to Europe?
So when I decided Woxen, one thing I had in mind was I wanted to go on this study abroad program. Whether it's hard or easy, I wanted to go for it because I like exploring. I'm an extroverted person. So I wanted to give it my try and I applied and luckily I got shortlisted, fingers crossed, and I got picked. So that's how it started. And I went to Poland in February. I went there to pursue my international business management course, one semester there, and I
Okay.
scored 93% that semester.
Wow.
One thing there is the studies, it's not very hectic. You can concentrate in the class, interact with the faculty, and it's not a very conventional, traditional educational approach. So, about my student exchange, I think I did a lot of travel, not just in Poland, but I traveled across Europe to Switzerland, France, Germany, Belgium.
Oh, nice.
I went on some solo trips, and I must say it was quite a self reflecting journey, and it
That's
was truly.
amazing. That's amazing. So, what was the okay? So, out of all the trip places that you visited, which one do you love the most?
I love Bulgaria most because that was an unplanned solo trip. So I had to go to Macedonia to meet one of my other friends.
Okay.
But then, because of my visa's category, I had a Schengen D type visa, the Schengen C type visa, so I could not go. So it was an unplanned solo trip. So it was uncertainty and
Yeah.
surprise. And I think I liked it the most because I had control over what I was going to do the next day. And it was all dependent on me, my actions, my. So I think that is very memorable and close to me.
Interesting. And like you mentioned, like the what you are studying there also, you get to travel, you get to explore. It's not very hectic, not conventional. So what do you think? Like, do you suggest students should take up that exposure? How different are the pure learning, exposure that you get as compared to any college or campus in India versus what you're getting there at Poland?
Yes, I would totally recommend all my peers to go up for this program because it's a lifetime opportunity and you might go in the future for your master's, but at this age in your bachelor's, it will help you a lot in choosing what you want to do next after your
Yeah.
bachelor's and maybe some important life decisions. So I would suggest them, and it's a very there's a lot of difference from India and in Europe academically, the environment and peer pressure. There's no peer pressure to be honest. And in India, it's very competitive and we run behind grades or grades are the deciding factors. But there, it's very slow paced and no one will interfere in your work and you are only responsible, solely responsible for your work. So that is what I liked the most. And people are very sweet, welcoming, and it felt good.
Lovely, that's great. And with respect to like kind of the last thing before I, trouble you more. So when you're choosing, you chose a BBA and a business stream, right? You've got multiple specializations which you can take up. So what have you taken and what helped you to make that decision?
Okay, right now I chose BBA in entrepreneurship and development because I'm already working on a startup. I found it more beneficial for me to choose this course. But in Poland, I chose international business management because I wanted to learn about the cultural differences and luxury brand management and some courses which were not offered in India. So that actually helped me understand the business globally and will surely help me in my business in the future.
Lovely, that's great. And how do you think life has been through, these years of BBA in college? Is it hectic? Is it fun? Or do you suggest people should take up BBA or not?
It is definitely hectic. Nothing is easy, I would say. And if you want to achieve something, you should just balance the hectic things and make it do things in a fun way and just balance your mental health and prioritize everything is good. So I would say it's not going to be easy, but we need to come across all the odds and just balance things and keep ourselves good. Yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting. If you were to give some last parting thoughts to all the people who are listening to us who may be thinking, should I take up BBA or should I take up a BAF or a BCom? What would you suggest to them? And
Yeah, I think it depends on their interest, but if they are into business and if they want to try out something new or if they're not sure about what they want to do, I think BBA is a good option because business is a very big platform. I mean, it is diversified and there's no one particular thing that you are obliged to do. So I think you have various options. So it's a good option. But if you're interested in some other things, I would
Yeah.
recommend them to follow their dreams and passions. And if anyone is letting them down, I would not suggest them to give up on their passion, but I definitely suggest them to work on it.
lovely. That's so sweet. And thank you so much, Avni, for taking time for us today and sharing your entire experience with us. One quick last thing would be, how has Hyderabad been treating you? And Woxen is a little on the outsides of Hyderabad city. You come from Hyderabad. So, what do you think? Is Hyderabad a good place for people to come down there?
Yes, Woxen from Woxen, Hyderabad is like 2 hours away. It's a good place. You can chill on the weekends, and it's definitely good. You have different cafes, malls, and it's always happening, busy. So it's a very good hub.
Nice. That's interesting. So, thank you so much. And I shall definitely look forward to catching up with you once I'm in Hyderabad as well. And looking forward to see a lot more coming in from your startup and the events at campus as well. So, thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Bye.
Bye bye.